Hi, I'm Trish from Jules by Trish, and today I'd like to share with you my top 5 eye makeup essentials that I am loving right now. Since we're talking about eyes, I came to you already to save a little bit of time with my foundation on and a little bit of lipstick and a little bit of blush and a little bit of powder. I do not have any kind of makeup underneath my eyes right now. I did this because I wanted you to, number one, see the order of application, and two, see exactly how dark the circles are underneath my eyes. It's something I really struggle with. It's hereditary. Plus, I have allergies, so I'm allergic to everything. So I have quite a bit of dark circles underneath my eyes. So I am going to get started. If you like some of these products, you don't have to write them down. I gave you links below the video, so you can enjoy those after the video. Before we get started, I'd like to talk a little bit about order of application. A lot of people start with their concealing products first and then their foundation. And I do the exact opposite, and I'm going to tell you why. I put on my foundation first, and then I go back with any of my concealing products. And the reason why is because, like right now, you can see that the circles under my eyes are really dark. If I didn't have my foundation on, you would see a little bit of red pigmentation right here. But once I put on my foundation, I can see exactly how much concealing product I need before I get started. I mean, it's just, to me, it's kind of makes sense because that way I can use less of my concealing products and save a little money because the foundation goes a long way. So I'm going to go ahead and put foundation underneath my eyes. I do use a foundation brush. This is just the Sephora foundation brush, and I am using Makeup Forever that I buy at Sephora. You can also get it on Amazon. So I'm going to put a little bit on my brush. And then I'm just going to dot, 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 dot underneath my eyes, and in this little crevice right here where I have, you can see it on this eye. It gets pretty dark in that corner. So this is foundation. And just a tiny dot will do. And again, dot, 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 dot. I love a foundation brush. It keeps your fingers clean. And if you're a contact lens wearer like me, then you can, if you haven't put in your contacts yet, you don't have to worry too much about getting foundation all over your other makeup brushes and your contacts. So you can see that's a big difference already, right? Then my number one, my top eye product that I'm going to show to you is the Becca Brightening Corrector. Becca Brightening Corrector. This is amazing. I found this on YouTube. I was watching a makeup artist showing different techniques to apply eyeshadow, and she uses this, and this is my favorite product. I don't go anywhere without wearing this product. I don't wear makeup all the time. Sometimes I wear eyeshadow, sometimes I don't, and this product I wear no matter what. I'm also going to apply this with a brush. It's a Perfecting Concealer brush, and you really don't need a whole lot. And I'm going to start in the corner where I have some dark circles, and I'm just going to work it in underneath my eye. Need a little more. And I like to go really close underneath my eyelash, and I avoid kind of this little spot right here. And I'll show you why when I finish. I need just a little bit more. And then I take the brush and I just kind of stipple it in, and then I get that little spot right there. And then I kind of blend gently with my finger, just a little bit. And then I'll go do the other eye, getting in that corner. And you can really see it already starting to brighten things up. This is the most amazing product, I think. Just wonderful. Looks like you've slept for hours, even when you haven't. So stipple that in, getting underneath right there. Gently pat it in with my finger. There you go. Much better already. The next thing I'll do is I will go ahead and put on my concealer. And I'm a Mary Kay lady. I love Mary Kay's concealer. I think it's awesome. And I will also use that same Perfecting Concealer brush. Wow, you can already see the difference, and it's going to get even better. Now, my number one is the Becca. This is just something that I use. You can use any concealer that you like. What's your favorite? Use it. I'll put a little bit on the brush and go ahead and brush that in and stipple in that little corner up there. Gently blend with my finger. The other side. Blend with my finger. And I do like to put a little bit of concealer right in here where I know I have some red spots. And down here for some highlighting, and then in the little crack right there in my chin, and blend. Okay. Then here comes my second favorite product that I have discovered. It is High Definition Powder by Makeup Forever. It's different than a loose powder. It's not a finishing powder. It's a setting powder that you're going to use. I use my finger. I grab just a little bit of it, and I dot it on with my fingers. And this is really going to set that concealer in there. You see the difference between the two sides? It really sets it in there, and it's going to last all day. I don't find that it sits in the lines and cracks of my eyes. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you were to put a loose powder, a finishing powder, underneath your eyes right there, you would look like an old lady. It would really set in those crevices and lines and cracks that you have, and you would not be pleased with that. So this is a key to finishing your concealer and that brightening eye corrector, and you can see a big difference from when we started already. So I'm finished with that. I would normally put on my loose powder at this point, but since I already did that earlier, I'm not going to do it again. I will use a little bit of this Mary Kay facial highlighting pen, and I used to use, before I found this Becca eye brightening corrector, I used gobs of this stuff because I just couldn't get this to lighten up, and you can see it's already doing a really good job right now. But I used to use gobs and gobs of this, and that gets expensive. So you saw the Becca, I used hardly any. The High Definition powder, I used hardly any of that. And now I'm going to use just a tiny, tiny drop or two of this, and it makes a world of difference. Just to kind of finish things up. I dot it under my eyes. And before, I was literally like filling all of this in with this brush. I'm telling you, I was using a ton of this product, and I no longer need to, thanks to the Becca Eye Brightening Corrector and that High Definition powder. That's my top two. I use those no matter whether I'm going somewhere or not. Excuse my hair right there. And then I just take any kind of beauty sponge and gently blend that in, just to finish things off. And there you go. So, what do you think so far? I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. All right, my number 3 product is Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer. And they have two formulas. You can see I'm using the anti-aging, but they also have an original formula as well that you can use. I use this when I'm getting older, and you can, I don't want anything sticking in the cracks around my eyes and making me look older. I like to look younger than I am. So that's why I chose the anti-aging. My daughter's 18. She uses the original. That's how I discovered it. Her makeup lasts all day. Her eyeshadow stays on all day long. So that's how I discovered this. What are you doing, girlfriend? And she said, Mom, come on, it's the eye primer potion. So I bought the anti-aging, and I am loving it. It's a little wand. You need just a little bit. And I go in there and I paint it onto my eyelid. and blend gently with my finger. And now my eyeshadow stays on all day long as well. So repeat on the other side. It goes on nice and smooth. It's creamy. It kind of makes me feel like I'm adding a little bit of moisture to the top of my eyes as well. Okay, so we are on to eyeliner. This is Mary Kay Deep Brown eyeliner. You can use whatever eyeliner of your choosing that you like. So pardon me for a second and I will put that on. And I like to line the top and the bottom. It looks kind of funny right there with my eyeball in your face, right? There you go, top and the bottom. And then I'll repeat on the other side. And I don't pull my eyes. You see some ladies, they will pull their eye to the side. But I don't want to add any more wrinkles to my face than are already there. So I will gently pencil that in. And you will find with the eye primer, it goes on pretty well, having used that. There we go. And I wanted to mention real quick before we get to my number 5, because it's one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, right? That's why I'm here. This is one of my top must-haves, a Perfecting Concealer Brush. Before, I was doing my concealer with my fingers, which there's not a whole lot wrong with that, but I find that this is really gentle. And as we age, the less pulling and tugging that we can do underneath our eyes, the better. So I found this guy through a video on YouTube. Actually, I watched a lady using it. And I find that my concealer and my under eye products go on much smoother and easier, and I'm not tugging as much. I do go in a little bit and stipple with my fingers, but I primarily use a brush now. Same with the foundation brush. It's just a little bit gentler on your face, and I can't say it enough. The less lines I can create on my face, the better. So this was in my top 5. And I saved this guy for last. I'm so in love. This is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani eye palette. And before I was using just whatever. I had a little bit of Mary Kay, I had a little bit of CoverGirl, I had a little bit of Maybelline. And I'm a big Gwen Stefani fan. And when she came out with this eye palette, I had to have it. I just had to have it. And I thought, I don't know if this is worth the money, but I'm going to do it. And I found it is fabulous. I'm going to show you all the colors real quick. Let's see if I can cover up this mirror so I don't flash you in the face. But here are all the colors. They are fabulous. Fabulous. I'm finding that I'm putting less eyeshadow onto my eyes. It is lasting all day. And they blend. Before I was having to do a lot of blending and a little touch up here and there to get things to blend correctly. And with this eye palette, I'm loving it. I'm not having those problems. You'll see in a second that I don't do a whole lot of blending. It goes on effortlessly. All the colors just seem to seamlessly blend together. It's amazing. So I'm going to start with this color Skimp. And I'm using a Naked Eye Palette brush. I find their brushes are just the bomb. They're awesome. So, but you can use any brush you want. I just found that these were really great and I held on to it and it works great. So I'm going to put on a little bit of Skimp and I'll load just a little bit on my brush and I'm going to put it in the corner. And this is a daytime look for me. This is the one that I wear most often. And you can see it just goes on so well. And I'm going to go all the way up to my eyebrow. And I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just someone who loves makeup and found these products and I thought they were fabulous. And I thought I would share them with you, thought that you would like them as well. And then I'm going to go on to the other side. And I found, for years I was not using a brush. I was just using the little sponge brushy things that come in your pack. And I used to think my daughter was crazy because she always used a brush. But the more I watched her do her makeup and how long it stayed on, I converted. I love these brushes. Next, I'm going to use Zone in my crease. And I'm going to go in this crease and the V right here, just a little bit. And then I like to go a little bit on this brow bone right here. I go a little bit higher. I have really big eyes. I find that when I close my eyes, you can't see a lot of times the eye makeup. So I go a little bit higher. And I'm just loading a little tiny bit onto my brush. I can't get that for you. I'm just loading a tiny bit on my brush and working it in until I get the desired look. Because you don't want it to be too dark and then you have to go back in and do repair work. And I think that eye's done. So I'm going to go on to the other eye, do the same thing. I get in the crease first and that little V. Up on the brow bone. Almost even. And I just keep working until they're both even on both sides. And I think that's great. And then I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to use the thinner side of this brush and I'm going to use the color Punk. Now when you look at the Punk, it's this one right here. It looks really, really dark and it looks like it's going to be really, really dramatic. And that's what I love about this palette. You can get it very dramatic or you can get it as subtle as you want. And I'm just going to tap a little bit on it. And I'm going to go in this crease right here just to kind of add a tiny, tiny bit of subtle drama. And I'm going to work that V. And I don't reload. I use very little of it. And you can see how it went in there. But then when I open up, I haven't even blended yet, guys. It's just amazing. I will take it and blend just a little bit with the fluffy part. And that's it. And I'll repeat on the other side. And in the V. And again, I just keep kind of dotting it in there until I get the desired effect that I want, because I don't want too much of it. A little bit more on this side. And just look how they mesh so well. I haven't even blended yet on this side. And bam. These eyeshadows just do their job very, very well. And then I go back in and I take a little bit of that Punk color and I line the top eyeliner line. And again, a tiny little bit, and I go under just to kind of get a little pop in there. I find these colors beautiful. I did a test run a couple of days ago. I didn't put on any eyeliner. I used the eye primer and this eyeshadow palette to put on eyeliner. And it stayed on all day. without me having to use my eyeliner pencil. And that's it. I'm going to go in. I do want a little pop right here in the middle of my eyes. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take, it's called Pop. And I'm going to put just a little bit on my finger. Just a little bit on my finger. And I'm going to dot right here. And you can see it gives just a little bit of color to brighten things up. Right in the middle. Or you can come up here and do the same thing. Whichever you prefer. And that's it. My eyeshadow is done. And you noticed I didn't blend a whole lot. This is the bomb diggity. You need this eye palette. Seriously. And then the last thing I'm going to do is apply my mascara. And I'm using Voluminous Million to do my eyelashes. I don't wear fake eyelashes unless I have a special party or something like that. And I find that this mascara works pretty well. So I just kind of brush out any excess eyeshadow. And I will get these babies going. I use 3 coats. 2 really, really quick coats. And then a third defining coat, I guess you would say. How are my under eye circles looking? Much better than the beginning of the video, right? This stuff is amazing. Truly amazing. Almost done, ladies. Almost done. And I'm a fan of just a light coat on my lower lashes. I don't like a whole lot down there, so I'm just going to do a little bit. And if you're wondering, I have a little mirror on the side, and that's why sometimes I'm getting really, really close to you. And as soon as I'm done, I will recap in case you would like to see those again. I know I used a lot of products here, but it takes a lot of products to complete your face. So I will recap my top 5 that I was highlighting today that I really, really, I don't think I could live without them. Now that I know that they're out there, I can't live without them. I just can't. All right. And when I'm done, I already have my little powder brush loaded with just a little bit of powder, and I like to go back in just in the T-zone and get any oily spots that I might have left from applying my makeup. And then I touch up my blush just a tiny bit. I also use a MAC blush brush, and I'm using Mary Kay blush. And because I have a long face, I just do, the apples. And I forgot a step. I wanted to show you something that is so cool about this makeup palette. There is a color in here called Bathwater. It's this one right here. And to add a little bit of light here to further conceal those under eye circles, we're looking good right now. But I like an added little oomph to last me throughout the day. I take a little brush, I put just a little bit in, and I run right along that cheekbone just to brighten things up a hair. And that's it. We're done, ladies. All right, let me groom those eyebrows a little bit, and I'll recap my top 5. Are you ready? What do you think? Much better than the beginning, right? And look at that eyeshadow. It's a gorgeous eye palette. So, my number 1, can't live without, is the Becca Eye Brightener. Love this, love this, love this. Can't live without it. I wear it every day, even if I'm not doing my eyeshadow. The second thing would be my Perfecting Concealer Brush. Let's avoid those lines around our eyes, ladies. We don't want that. We want to be gentle, and this provides great coverage. My number 3 was the Primer Potion, Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Number 4, and these are not in any certain order, was the High Definition Powder that goes with the eye brightener and your concealer. And then, last but not least, the beautiful Urban Decay Eye Palette by Gwen Stefani. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Test it out. Your eyeshadow, I promise, will last all day. Your under eye circles will look great all day because there won't be any. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a thing or two and picked up maybe 1 or 2 products that you also are going to love. And that's all I have for you. See you later. Thanks for looking in and attending and watching my transformation. Bye.